Okay, we're converting from scientific notation to just regular decimal form, so regular numbers, and we've looked in the previous video what scientific notation is and how to go from decimal to scientific. Now we're going back the other way. Let's just check this first example here out of the two, 9.34 by 10 to the 5. For it to be scientific notation, that needs to be an integer, which is a whole number, positive or negative, or even zero, and it is an integer, yes. And this number here, the first part, one digit to the left of the decimal, yes, we have that. Okay, so we're ready to go. It's definitely in scientific notation. We need to get it into decimal form. So we're going to have a big number because we can see that we've got a positive integer there, so the number is going to get quite big. So always predict the answer. So that equals, well, we're going to get the 9.34. Now I'm going to put this decimal in red because he's not going to sit like that for very long. And what we're going to do is do a bit of movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we've got some empty spaces. We need to have some zeros there. And so the decimal is now there, like with any whole number, and basically the decimal ends up there. So the true number is, that is writing it out neatly, 934,000, or 934,000. And that makes sense because we're multiplying by 10 to the 5, and if you think about it, 10 to the 5 is 10 to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're multiplying by 100,000. Okay, so we've got 934,000. This next one here, look carefully, we've got a negative index in question B, example B, so that's going to be a very small number. Okay, so we know that yes, that's an integer, but it's a negative integer, and that will mean that it's small, because what you're really doing is going 4.71 over 10 to the positive 5. That negative 5, remember with index law number 3, or the negative index law I should say, sends it to the denominator as a positive, which divides. If you've got a little number like 4.71 divided by a big number like 10 to the power 5 or 10,000, you're going to get a small number as a result. That makes sense. So what do we do here? We've got 4.71, so I'm going to put in the 4, give a bit of room, 471, and if we look at the decimal was originally here, and well, the number's going to get small because we're dividing. When we're dividing, it's a bit like the decimal going that way. So dividing smaller, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and so we need some zeros to hold our places. And that would mean that the final resting spot for the decimal, not that a decimal can really move, but we just say that, is there. So that would be, tidying it up, 0.000471. Okay, so that's the final answer. So it's like going 4.71 divided by 10,000, because 10 to the power 5 is 10,000. 10, 100, 1,000. Sorry, 100,000 is like dividing by 100,000, I should say. 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, and that's why the decimal ends up there, and that's our final answer. So try now to convert from scientific notation into decimal form.